Thunder is out of timeouts. Adams gives it back to Russ. Deep shot. Get it! What a perfect ending!
The triple-double is the best way for an NBA player to assert themselves as a star. Getting 10 or more points, rebounds, and assists in a game showcases a player's ability to impact the game in multiple different ways. Sometimes you'll see a triple-double where someone goes off on defense and gets 10 blocks or 10 steals, but almost every triple-double you'll see comes from the main 3 stats. Russell Westbrook was at one point Mr. Triple-Double. After Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City in 2016, Westbrook took it upon himself to carry the team back to the playoffs. He had 42 triple-doubles that season and finished with a stat line of averaging a triple-double. It was historic, and he beat Oscar Robertson's single-season triple-double record, and it was enough for him to win the MVP vote that season. But what if we took it up a step? What about a quadruple-double? Surely it can't be too much of a stretch. What about 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 blocks? Or maybe even 10 steals? It can't be too much of a stretch to have seen that happen before. Let's do a comparison. From the 1950 season to the 2024 season, there have been 3,207 triple-doubles. How many quadruple-doubles do you think have happened? 100? 50? 20? The answer is 4. 4 times. 4 players in the entire league's history have achieved a quadruple-double. It's an exclusive club. Nate Thurmond was the first in 1974. Alvin Robertson would get the next one 12 years later. The Dream got the next in 1990, and David Robinson would get the 4th one in 1994. And that's it. It's been over 30 years since anyone else has achieved it. Well, at least officially. Some of you might be wondering, why is Wilt Chamberlain not included? Didn't he have a quintuple-double? This ridiculous stat line that you might have seen before is not officially recognized by the NBA, as the league didn't count blocks and steals as official stats when he played. But it is apparently an actual stat line that Wilt had in a game. Of course, there's no footage for it, so I can't verify if this is true or not, so if someone ever finds the footage from this game, please let me know. And while you're at it, find the footage from his 100-point game too. Tim Duncan may have also had one in Game 6 of the 2003 NBA Finals. The scorekeeper said he only had 8 blocks, but if you go back and watch the highlights, he absolutely had 10, maybe even 11. Duncan could have been remembered for achieving a quadruple-double while winning his 2nd championship, but someone didn't want to give him credit for those other blocks, and he is not in the quadruple-double club. Even if we were to include Wilt and Duncan, the total number of quadruple-doubles that has happened can be counted on your fingers. Of all the great names of the NBA's history that people usually think of, practically none of them have accomplished it. But why? Why is it so hard for all of these Hall of Fame players to achieve it? There's only 5 stat categories that a player can make a positive impact with in a game. The main one is points. Getting 10 points is the easiest part of getting the quadruple-double. If a star player wants to join the club, they should have no problem scoring 10 points. Rebounds can also be pretty easy. If a player is a decent enough big man for their team, they'll probably average over 10 rebounds a game anyway. This is a little harder to accomplish as a guard, but the top guards in the league don't really have too much issue with getting 10 boards. Assists usually happen from a player being a big offensive threat. A player that scores a lot will often see more defensive pressure, which leaves their teammates open and can lead to getting more assists. But the player needs to be able to handle that defensive pressure. And sometimes getting 10 assists can rely heavily on the type of offense their team runs. Blocks are much harder to get. A player can't get 10 blocks in a game from trying to block shots at the 3-point line. Most blocks have to come from inside the paint. How many players can block a shot without being called for a foul? How many players can do that 10 times in a single game? 10 steals is nearly impossible to get. The most steals from a player in the 2025 season was 8. John Stockton, the all-time NBA steal leader, never had a game with double-digit steals. NBA guards are just way too skilled to ever allow someone to get 10 steals. Let me just put it this way. In order to get a quadruple-double, a player must be skilled enough offensively to not only score 10 points, but also be able to find their teammates for open shots at least 10 times. They must also play under the basket enough to grab 10 rebounds, and they have to play an insane game defensively so that they can either block someone's shot 10 times without fouling out, or somehow come up with 10 steals against the best basketball players in the world. Is it starting to make sense why it hasn't happened in 30 years? I hope so, because I feel like I'm not making sense anymore. The NBA has seen 3 decades go by without another player joining the quadruple-double club. Faces of the league and multiple Hall of Famers have never gotten it done. But do you want to know which player might have been the closest to achieving it? Draymond Green. Yes, the guy who's basically the supervillain of the league was very close to becoming the 5th ever player to record a quadruple-double. Here's his stat line. How many points do you think he had in this game? Seriously, how many do you think? 4. 4 points. Green had more blocks this game than points. This was the prime of the dynasty, Draymond. How did you not score 3 more times in this game? Besides Green's weird triple-double, there have been a few other players that were close to making it happen, but all of them fell short. Not all hope is lost though. When thinking of the next player that could achieve a quadruple-double, there's one player that comes to mind who was drafted a couple years ago. And I think we all know who that is, so on the count of 3, we're all gonna say his name. 1, 2, 3, Victor Wembanyama. Right?
Brown again running, and Wembanyama!
Ever since Wemby was drafted in 2023, people have put crazy expectations on him. Some people say he'll be considered a bust if he isn't one of the greatest ever by the time his career is done. My unrealistic expectation is that he will be the next player to join the quadruple-double club, and he might even do it twice. Wemby has a chance to essentially become the avatar of the NBA. You want scoring? He's got that. Assisting? Absolutely. Rebounding? Shot blocking? Well, he's 7'3", so you tell me. You would think that him being so tall would make him another typical center in the league, but Wemby has the skill set similar to a guard. Look at him knock down this step back 3. How is a dude taller than most doorways hitting shots like this? Wemby has already come close to recording a quadruple-double. Towards the end of his rookie season, he was 2 assists and 1 block away from making it happen. He was 20 years old when he did this, against the defending champions. The only thing that could slow him down is injuries. Wemby did suffer a serious injury in the 2025 season, but he seems to be recovering pretty well from it, and I hope that he can stay healthy throughout his career. He's only 2 years into his career, and he has already shown what he is capable of doing at such a high level. By the time he is in the prime of his career, who knows? Maybe he will become the first person in 30 years to achieve a quadruple-double.